When we were very young, and if we would sort of like leave toys all around or we'd make a mess and someone would come in and be like, who did this? We had a fictional duo that we would blame, but I think it was adorable, and they were the Bad Boys, and you're welcome to join me if you want, but we would always sing, the Bad Boys did it, the Bad Boys did it,
but we will clean it up.
Oh my God. That's actually so
It's hard
cute.
to sing on Zoom together.
Yeah.
You did well. You did well.
But it's
David
the
will
Bad
edit
Boys
that.
did it, the Bad Boys did it, and we will clean it up. And it's like, everyone's all right. But it's nice to have someone to blame in sort of a weird child brain of like, yeah, but we did it, but it's okay,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I was going to ask, so it sounds like, Seth, there was at least one time where you woke up particularly to delight in Josh's demise. But then what was your relationship like to each other in terms of fighting? Did you fight a lot as siblings?
We didn't. My memory is no. We shared, so we each had our own bedroom, but each of our bedrooms had two beds. It was a bunk bed in Josh's room and two twins in mine, and we always slept together.
Oh.
So we would choose each night which bed to sleep in. So we had our own room, which we could have our own stuff in. You know, we had our
Or
own,
if you had sleepovers, you would have a
Right.
friend
Right.
sleep in your room.
So we always hung out together. We would the only fights were when we roughhoused and someone got hurt, which 100% of the time was Josh.
Yeah.
And even then the fight was me not wanting him to go tell mom and dad. You know, that he
Right.
had gotten,
We played in the basement was sort of our playroom. It was a finished basement, and there was a wood stove. And like that's where we would always hang out. And if I would get hurt, I would instantly start running sort of down this snaking hallway to go up the stairs, and Seth would try to tackle me and hold me back from
Hurt you
going.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Like, I think that's right. They always say, like, it's not the crime, it's the cover-up. That was
Yeah.
very much the case with this.
There was one time, I have no idea what we were fighting about, but we were so angry at each other, and we decided we're going to have an actual, like, fight.
Yeah.
And we had an old a couch that would convert into a bed, but it was all foam. It sort of like folded into itself.
Yeah,
and
there
so-
wasn't metal or anything.
Yeah, no metal. So we put that out, and that was going to be like the ring that we were going to fight in.
Yeah.
Seth had a friend over, and it was like, we're going to ring the bell. And so we came together, and we started grappling. And I got my hand around Seth's foot, and it sort of slipped off the end of his foot. And as it did, his big toenail came off in my hand. And the fight was over before it started. Like, we were just both so aghast at what had happened. I felt terrible. But that was that.
I
yeah.
should note, I also think that fight was very much due to my friend Greg, who is an agent of chaos. I think his solution was always, we should actually have an organized fight.
Yeah.
But I don't think Josh and I, our first instinct was ever to fight. Also, Josh was whenever I had friends over, Josh was added in. And our house was the one, we hosted a lot of sleepovers. It was a house people came over to after school. My parents were, I think, of the mind as well. Like, if your kids like you enough to have their friends over, then you will never have to wonder where they are. Like, it's better to have them in your basement than, and also
totally.
just having to, like, go pick them up at somebody else's basement. So we were always over, and Josh was always sort of like the plus one to our group. And less the other way. Like, I don't think the older brother maybe hangs out with the younger brother's friends. But Josh was always sort of part of my group of friends as well.